Hi Aquarius, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. So this is going to be your love and spirituality reading for the month of January, or for the rest of January I should say. And if you check the description box down below, there will be a link to my Vimeo channel, and I'm going to be doing a 2019 tarot forecast spread. So basically I'll be telling you what you can expect in the year of 2019 and what you should be taking part in and some of the things that you should try to avoid. So make sure you check the description box when you're done with this reading. So I already pulled cards for you, and I'm going to be just clarifying with my deck. And I did notice that the Two of Wands came up twice when I was shuffling for you. So I'm feeling like a lot of you are just wanting something new and exciting in your life. A lot of you have come out of a very, very painful, difficult cycle in 2018. It seemed like the Aquarius readings have been the heaviest since I started my channel, which was probably was it September of 2018? I'm not sure, but the Aquarians have been really going through it. And I feel like that's very common because Aquarius is the humanitarian sign. So a lot of Aquarians are involved in human service work, whether it be, you know, being a spiritual advisor on YouTube, or even being a lawyer, or working as a nurse. It's like a lot of Aquarians are put here in this lifetime in order to serve the collective, in order to lead people to healing and to inspire and give people hope and faith. So a lot of times Aquarians will go through a lot because it's kind of like our initiation. We go through so much so that then we can empathize with those who are going through the things that we're going to help them with. You see what I'm saying? So let's see what's going on for the past position. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Cups. Okay, so the Three of Cups in reverse obviously is not a very nice card. This card usually talks about a third-party situation, so some of you could have been involved with someone who you thought was a soulmate, with the Lover's card being here in the reverse. So, let me fix this. Okay, that's good. So I feel like some of you could have been involved with someone who you felt was a soulmate, or who you felt a very strong tie to. And I think that this person definitely was a soulmate, with the Lover's card being here. And it doesn't have to be a life partner, and that's where a lot of people get confused. They think that, oh, if this person is my soulmate, that means that I'm going to be with them forever, and that's not the case. Sometimes a soulmate is just someone who comes into our life that is meant to teach us some sort of lesson that's going to help us to elevate on a spiritual level. So I feel like you could have been through a third-party situation with this person. They could have had someone else, or it could have just been a situation where it was very draining to you and it was difficult for you to get out of it, because the Three of Cups in reverse energy is not an easy energy to get out of, because usually that comes with a feeling of isolation, and it comes with a feeling of just being depressed and feeling like no one understands you, which is, I mean, very common for Aquarians. We're like the misunderstood sign of the zodiac. So but I think that that situation was a part of your fate or your destiny, with the Wheel of Fortune being here. Wow, with the Wheel of Fortune being here. I feel like this was a part of your destiny to encounter this person and to go through whatever the cycle was. Now, if you're someone who was like brutally abused by someone, I'm not talking about you. That's not something that I ever tell people, oh, you were meant to go through that. No. But if it was like a situation where, you know, you were with someone and they chose someone else over you, or they let someone like infringe on your relationship in some way, I feel like that situation was meant to teach you something about yourself, with the Wheel of Fortune being here. It's like it was pre-planned, or it was like destined to happen because you needed to learn something from this person. More than likely, it was probably a lesson in self-worth and knowing when to walk away, when not to compare yourself to other people, and when not to fight for love that is rightfully yours. You should never have to fight anyone to love you, or to see you and value you and understand you, because that is your birthright. As long as you are breathing on this earth, you are worthy of love, and you never have to fight for it or get someone to see it by doing certain things for them. So I feel like this was definitely some type of lesson when it comes to your self-worth and your value, your self-value. So that was in the past. Let me pull one more for that. I feel like there's something else that wants to come out. when I was pulling cards for you earlier, the Magician card in the reverse came out. So you could have been dealing with someone who was kind of like a sneaky person, or someone who was wearing a mask. Like you didn't really know them because they kind of put on a front for you, and they didn't really tell you or show you exactly who they were until you were already attached to them. I feel like that person could have been narcissistic possibly, or it's just someone who has a very low self-esteem and they're broken on the inside, so they emotionally manipulate people in order to get close to them, because deep down inside they don't even feel like they are worthy. So I definitely did get that earlier when I was pulling for you. So if you were dealing with an individual like that, just know that that person is just living a very, very sad life, no matter how it looks on the surface. Because just think about it, if you have to trick or fool someone into getting close to you, then what does that say about you? That means that you don't think that you are worthy of love, or you don't think that you are good enough. You see what I'm saying? And people like that, they like to put on a front as if you are the one that's not up to par, especially when it ends, or they do you wrong. They like to make you feel like it's your fault or your problem, when really this person has always had problems before they even met you. So just keep that in mind. Let me pull one more. The Temperance card. So you're definitely needing to find balance with that situation by looking at it from a higher perspective, with the Temperance card being here. It's kind of like you needing to see things from the perspective of, what was this trying to teach me, or what lesson was I meant to learn? And that's how you're going to find balance in this situation. It's all about your perception. Like you can see in the Temperance card, it's like the card of being enlightened. As you can see, like the information that's being downloaded right through the crown, it's coming from a higher power, it's coming from a higher source. So I feel like a lot of you are needing to regain balance through seeing things from a higher perspective, instead of allowing the energy from that past situation to kind of drown you. Because like I said, with the Wheel of Fortune being here, there was a lesson that you were meant to learn, and you are definitely strong enough to deal with this, or you're strong enough to handle this, or else you wouldn't have been put through that lesson. So stay optimistic with that Temperance card. So let's see for the present. We have the King of Cups, the Eight of Cups in reverse. Okay, so some of you are still having kind of a hard time letting go of whatever that situation was, or letting go of that person. And I did see that earlier when I was shuffling for you as well. The Nine of Swords came up. So that means that some of you could be losing sleep over this person, or it's like you could be having dreams about this person. It's just kind of difficult to get this person out of your system, is what I'm seeing. So with the King of Cups being here in the reverse, I'm going to show you in the upright. This is a possible water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or it's just someone who is a bit emotionally manipulative. And again, like I said, I called that earlier when I was shuffling for you. It's someone who, like, this is not someone who's doing things unknowingly. This is someone who's very skilled at manipulation. Like, they've done this to people in the past. This is the way that they get their energy. Like, this is the way that they get love from people, is by being emotionally manipulative. And usually, like I said, that's because they don't know how to get someone to love them just for them, because they don't love themselves. So therefore they will manipulate people and make people fall in love with them under false pretenses. So I feel like some of you were dealing with a person like that, and it's very difficult to walk away from a type of person like this. I'll show you in the upright. It's difficult to walk away from a person like this, because it's a very deep connection that has taken place because of the amount of manipulation. Usually when someone manipulates you emotionally, it has to do with, you know, love bombing you first, and making it seem like you're so perfect and they want to be with you forever, and then snatching that love away from you, or playing games with you. And that really that push and that pull, those highs and those lows, it actually makes you like addicted to that person. So then it's very difficult to walk away from a person like that. So some of you, they're still very much in your energy. Let me pull one more, but I do feel like this energy is going to be falling away soon, because like I said, I shuffled for you earlier, so I was seeing a lot of positive things. So I know for a fact that you're going to be getting rid of some of this energy soon, because it's definitely blocking your blessings, because you're giving so much of your emotional energy to this situation and this person that you can't even focus on the things that you want to get accomplished for this year. So if you don't want to repeat 2018 and you want to actually make 2019 a prosperous year here for you, you have to stop feeding this situation emotionally, because it is really taking from you and it's really draining you. Ace of Cups, see? So the Ace of Cups talks about an emotional new beginning. Some of you are hoping that this person comes back and gives you a new beginning, and I want you to really stop and figure out why that is. Really stop and think about why you want this person back, because it looks like they are very emotionally manipulative. If you do want them back, it's because there is some type of hold that they have on you, and it's not a positive one. So you need to kind of break that bond or that soul tie that you have with them, because I feel like even if they were to come back and offer you something new or try to get back in good with you, it's like their intentions are not good. This person is very their energy is very off balance. It's very off balance, with the Emperor being here in reverse. This person is afraid of intimacy. They're afraid of being close to people, so they just manipulate. They manipulate the situation to work in their favor. So be very, very careful of that. For a lot of you, this Ace of Cups representing a new beginning, because I know a lot of you really do want to start over, and you don't want to be attached or tied to the situation anymore, because you're aware of how much it is blocking you. It's like blocking your path. It's blocking you from manifesting the things that you want, and it's really distracting you. So a lot of you are getting the opportunity to really start fresh and start over. Just keep on setting the intention of cutting ties with this person. Every day when you wake up, pray for the cord to be broken. Before you go to bed, pray for that cord to be broken, and then make sure that throughout the day you're not feeding that person with your mental energy at all. Like, you have to go completely no contact when it comes to these type of situations, because like I said, you'll keep repeating the cycle over and over if you don't make the conscious decision to break it. So let's see for the future, Aquarius. The Moon card and the Two of Swords. So the Moon card in reverse, I feel like anything that was kept in the dark from you, you are finally starting to kind of see it, because I feel like for a lot of you, things have been exposed about this person or about this situation, and you kind of didn't want to see it. Like, you saw it, but you didn't really want to see it. And the more that you distance yourself from that person, and the more that your mind starts to kind of balance out and you don't have those rose-colored glasses on anymore, the more you are going to start to kind of see exactly what was going on. Because while you were with this person, you kind of had a blindfold on because of those rose-colored glasses. You kind of saw all the good in them because you were emotionally tied and attached to them, and you were kind of dismissing all the things that they were doing wrong, or you had an excuse for all the things they were doing wrong. And it's like, as you detach from this person and you move forward with your life and your mind is clear, now you can finally see them for who they really are, because the attachment has fallen away. So I feel like you are definitely drawing a lot of conclusions about this person and about this situation in the near future, but also drawing a lot of conclusions about yourself. I feel like the situation that you were in really taught you a lot about yourself, about what you're willing to tolerate, and about the ways in which you don't really honor your own intuition, because the Moon card also talks about feminine energy, and feminine energy is connected with the heart space and with your intuition, with your it's like that sixth sense that women have. But it's not just women, all of us have that feminine energy within us. We just have to tap into it. So you know, that intuition is within all of us if our feminine energy is balanced. And I feel like a lot of you have been ignoring that, like ignoring your intuition, ignoring what your heart has been telling you to do, and just kind of being kind of out of whack when it comes to following your own heart, as opposed to leading with your wounds, if that makes sense. Because a lot of people think, oh, I am following my heart by staying with someone who's mistreating them, but you're kind of not. You're kind of leading with the wounding that has taken place within. You're not really leading with your heart chakra. If your heart chakra is balanced and you're able to get intuitive guidance through that space, you will immediately walk away from someone who is harming you or who is disrespecting you. I hope that made sense. So a lot of you have learned through this cycle how to really trust your intuition, is what I'm seeing. And a lot of you also are learning about the power of vulnerability and the power of really allowing yourself to feel, because this is a situation that you have to kind of feel your way through. You can't just rush out of. So a lot of you, if you have thought about your emotions as being like an inconvenience or weakness in the past, through the situation you have no choice but to sit down and to really analyze your emotions and to feel all of your feelings in order to get through them. And that's ultimately going to make you a much stronger person. because when you can be vulnerable, when you can be sensitive and admit that something's hurting you and nurse yourself through that pain, it makes you 10 times stronger than someone who denies their pain or who like suppresses their pain. So this is a very positive thing. Just make sure that this situation is making you smarter, but it's not hardening your heart. Let me pull one more. Nine of Pentacles, perfect way to end. So the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. So in the near future, you are going to be very happily single. Usually the Nine of Pentacles card is talking about someone who does not need anyone to make them feel good about themselves, and who is fine being alone when it comes to love relationships. It's like the Nine of Pentacles is someone who, if they want to be in a relationship, they will be, but they don't need to be in one. So I feel like a lot of you, through this cycle, you've finally learned how to step into this energy, because I feel like you weren't in this energy before. I feel like before you went through this cycle with this person, you were someone who could possibly have had codependency issues, or you just felt like you needed someone to validate you, or you needed a relationship to make you feel whole and complete. And through whatever this cycle was, it's like now you are finally rebuilding yourself and really gaining your confidence from within, and you don't need anyone outside of you to validate you or to make you feel worthy, because you're realizing that that's always been in you. And you don't need anyone to tell you or to show you that you are lovable, because you naturally know that you are now. And if you're not feeling this right now, you're going to be feeling this in the near future. For a lot of you also, the Queen of Wands came up in the last reading that I did for you, or the cards that I did for you before I even turned the camera on. The Queen of Wands showed up, so that means that a lot of you are possibly in the public eye, or you're an artist of some sort. But it looks like in this upcoming year, in 2019, you are being guided to really take whatever talents that you have and put them to good use, because this is going to be a very prosperous year for you, especially with the Nine of Pentacles coming up at the end of your reading. But you have to be very focused and very disciplined when it comes to whatever you want to go after, because you're pretty much guaranteed success, but you have to make sure that you're very focused and disciplined. So make sure that you are protecting your energy, make sure that you are really working on mastering your skills, mastering your craft, and that you are 100% disciplined and focused when it comes to building the life for yourself that you want. And that means also removing anything from your life that is going to distract you or take energy from you, because whatever this is that you're trying to build, or you've been wanting to build or start, is something that takes a lot of energy and discipline and focus. And so you can't afford to give any more energy to any situation from the past at all. And whoever you were dealing with, oh, okay. See this? The King of Wands. They're coming up as the King of Wands, and look at this. You're coming up as the Queen of Wands, just like I was just talking about. Whoever you were dealing with, they're just someone who is just not on the same level as you. It looks like this person is very egotistical. They need outside approval and outside validation to make them feel good about themselves, and they can just be extremely manipulative and ego driven. So y'all are on two like completely different wavelengths, which is a great thing. So you're needing to definitely remove yourself from whoever that person was, and don't even think in your mind that you lost something and they won or something along those lines, because it looks like you are having a significant amount of growth within yourself, and it looks like they are kind of staying the same. And until they experience something in life that shakes them up or wakes them up, they're going to remain this person and remain stagnant. So they are no longer your concern for a lot of you. Yeah, you're coming up as someone who is going to be very highly regarded, well respected, and inspirational in whatever field you're choosing to put your energy and effort into. So stay focused and keep your eye on the prize. Do not give any more emotional energy to whatever that situation was. And that doesn't have to be just romantic. It can be a friend, it can be a family member. So you have to just take it as it resonates. So that is it, Aquarius. I think that this reading went pretty well. Everything flowed smoothly. So I'm going to be doing your 2019 tarot spread now, and I will leave the link to that in the description box down below. So I will see you guys over on Vimeo. Bye.